Our special guest today is Gary Blanchard, folk musician.
Yes.
That'd be, I think, a good way to describe it.
It's a good way to describe it.
Okay, for tonight anyhow, right?
For tonight.
Rock and roll star?
Never.
No? Okay.
My new CD rocks out a little more than I usually do.
All right.
But,
so I failed to take note, but we're talking about, where are you out of?
I'm out of the West Brookfield, Warren area.
Okay, all right. Right down the road.
Right down the road.
Okay. And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing for 50 years. I got my first guitar in 1966, wrote my first song in 1967, and have been performing ever since.
What was your first guitar?
My first guitar was a $15 EJ Corvette Special.
Okay.
That the strings must have sat like a quarter-inch.
Oh yeah, well off the neck.
Off the neck.
Yeah.
And
you had to really push down hard.
Really had to push down hard, but that's what I learned on.
Yeah. Did you take lessons or someone teach you and you picked it up on your own?
I picked it up on my own, which means I've learned all the bad habits and
And you picked up a couple of your own.
Yeah. I have a very unique style, I would suppose.
Okay, all right. But it's fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you find yourself entertaining yourself as much as you do for other people?
Oh, absolutely. It's something that I have to do for myself.
Yeah. There's a piece in playing, isn't there?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah. And if other people hear it and enjoy it, then that's good. But even if I were on a desert island somewhere, I'd still have to do it.
You still have to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. It speaks to the soul.
It is,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you've been writing ever since, you said, as well?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Do you do any covers?
I do some covers.
Okay.
Again, the thing, because of the way I play, a lot of people say, that's not how the song goes.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I'll say, well, it's not how the record goes, but it is how the song goes.
Yeah. Yeah, when I hear that periodically, when you go see a live concert of the Beach Boys, for instance, Good Vibrations on stage does not sound like Good Vibrations on the album. Right. It never will.
Exactly.
And you hear people grumble in the audience about how that's not the way it sounds, It can't.
Right.
It can't.
A friend of mine shared an article. There's a guy in a group called Mercy Seat, and he was talking about the lives of songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the first life is when you write it. The next life is when you record it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third life is when you perform it. And it may even have other lives beyond that. But, and I realized that it was important to let the song have all those individual lives, rather than, for the longest time, I just tried to write and record the same way I would perform it.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I was really cheating the songs that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, as you mentioned that, of all the songs that were recorded, we'll say in the late 60s, re-recorded 7-8 years later, that really became big hits. It's the reinterpretation that the artist puts into it that made it really take off.
Right.
Same song, but a little bit different iteration, and that's what connected with everybody.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the important part. That's where the song lives for me, is that reinterpretation.
Right. Paul Simon is very good at kind of revisiting his songs.
His own song, yeah, absolutely.
And he will, change something from a folk ballad to reggae, and people probably some people get upset over it, but he's just letting the song
but there's such good movement behind it, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, you've been composing. You said you've got 3 CDs out now in the last couple of years?
I've got about 5 CDs that I really am proud of.
And you got one that just came out, about 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yes.
Be the Change by Gary Blanchard. This is all original compositions that you've written,
original compositions. The oldest song on there was written just before the election in November.
Oh, okay.
And then the final song was completed about the 7th of April.
There's some really good titles in here. The titles alone are fascinating. Old Man Yelling at the Cloud. Wow, what a
There's, there's a popular meme online when folks of our age are talking about, how there's no good music anymore.
Yeah.
They show, somebody will post this picture from The Simpsons, and it shows a newspaper, and Abe Simpson is there shaking his hand at the sky, and it says, "Old man yells at cloud."
Yeah.
So I've been hit with that a couple of times.
Okay.
And the song kind of looks at the generation gap and how, as we get older, the world's just moving too quickly for us. But when we're younger, the world isn't moving quickly enough.
It isn't moving fast enough, no.
And
you can't grow up fast enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And the generation gap that we were on the lower end of back in the 60s, we're now the older part of that, and the younger people are looking at us and saying, "You old people, you aren't with it. You don't understand what life is."
I find myself in that same vein, looking at the young people who are active, who are out there protesting or whatever. What I don't care what the cause is. They're out there and they're doing it. And I listen to some of my peers going, they ought to be in the school. They ought to be. Are you kidding? We were out there too.
Well, absolutely.
We were there. That's when it was all alive for it. And I'm glad they're out there doing this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
get out and get active.
Right. The worst thing that you can do is to not care.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that change is possible, but we have to make change happen.
Yeah.
Thus the title of the CD and the title song, Be the Change.
Yeah.
Which, interestingly, is often attributed to Gandhi. You see the bumper stickers with his picture, and it says, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
Okay.
And it turns out that Gandhi never said that.
Okay.
Just as Abraham Lincoln never said you can't trust every quote on the internet.
I've researched that one. You're right. He didn't say that.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
That was
did Yoda? Is that who said that?
No,
be the
it's
change?
Andrew Johnson.
Oh, okay.
But,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So what you brought some instruments for us. Thank you for that. Would you mind playing something for us of your choice?
All right.
Can we force you into a song?
Oh, you could twist my arm.
Twist your arm. Cry out in pain.
This is actually the last song that I wrote for the CD.
Okay.
And I started writing it on March 31st, which was my wedding anniversary. My wife and I have been married for 11 years now.
Okay.
We've been together for 23 years. We had a long engagement.
Well, got to figure things out. Make sure it's a good fit. Absolutely.
Well, right, and
can't be too careful.
So I need my cheat sheet because at my age, it takes me a while to memorize songs. But
I can't possibly relate to that.
I know.
It must be unique just to songwriters.
You young guys can't quite get that.
Exactly.
So this song is called "You're So Groovy." Never thought that I would find a woman who was wise and strong, a woman who could go where life might lead me. But then you came along, filled my heart with song. You're so groovy. Gypsy heart and artist soul, flowing dress and great finesse. You danced through life in ways that really moved me. You opened up my heart and soul, helped me gain control. You're so groovy. Someone like you is hard to find. I know you are one of a kind. When I need help, you know just how to soothe me. I thank the powers that may be bringing you to me. You're so groovy. Gypsy heart and artist soul, flowing dress and great finesse. You dance through life in ways that really move me. You open up my heart and soul, help me gain control. You're so groovy. You're so groovy.
There you go.
Thank you.
Did you just kind of slide into folk storytelling type kind of music, or did you want to do something else? Or
No, back in 1965, I guess it must have been, I was listening to the radio and I heard the Beatles and I thought they were kind of neat, and I heard, a lot of other things, but I turned on the radio and I heard Donovan sing Catch the Wind.
oh yes,
And I said, I want to do that.
yeah.
So I bothered my mother until she got me that $15 guitar.
15
And
no doubt garishly painted.
No.
No? Okay,
No.
okay.
It's, it actually, had kind of a look sort of like the Gibson here
Okay.
does. But it was, the first song I pretty much learned to play was Catch the Wind.
Okay.
And I think you were asking me about covers, and that's one. Sometimes if I pull out a cover tune, I'll do that one. But yeah, I really wanted to do songs that sort of tell stories. I wanted to do songs that make people think, but I also wanted songs that make people feel good.
Okay.
There's plenty around right now to make us feel bad.
Oh, absolutely.
And we really need to focus on the positive. We need to have that hope. We need to, and also to work to make things change. A few years back, John Mayer had a rather popular song called Waiting for the World to Change. And I always got upset when I heard it, because I thought we can't wait for the world to change.
Nope.
We have to make
it
the
change.
world
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, that's important, but I never want to be preachy in my music. I probably preach a little bit here and there, but
You're getting the message out.
yeah.
And that's what it is. It's not. I don't think it's preaching. It's
right,
getting the message out.
Right. I try not to club people over the head with it, but sometimes just kind of slide it in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you think of it as a career?
When I was young, sure.
Okay.
There was the time, I remember in high school when I should have been studying, I was sitting there planning out my album covers.
Yeah.
But
the whole school's filled with garage bands trying to make it big.
Oh, yeah. I guess, somewhere in the 80s, I realized that this was never going to be the way I made my living, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel, I can imagine Mick Jagger saying, "Oh God, I got to go out there and sing Satisfaction
again."
It becomes a job.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want this to feel like a job. So I think, it has that sense of magic every time I perform. And if I were making a lot of money at it, it might destroy
become
that.
a job. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can see where that would happen
Which
very quickly.
isn't saying that, I don't appreciate getting money when I perform.
No.
But,
but when your
I'm not
livelihood
gonna
depends on it,
right.
that puts a whole different perspective on it.
Absolutely. I have friends who do music for a living, and they're always, trying to get gigs, and they're playing in places where people are primarily there to eat and talk,
Mm-hmm.
and their background music,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to hustle and get gigs.
Yeah, they're reaching for the ring, and it's
teach
just-
and
Yeah.
I'm happy not to have that
Yeah.
concern.
So on average, how many gigs do you play a month? Would you say?
Well, let's put it. How many gigs do I play in a year?
That's a fair question then. Okay, all right.
I would say I probably do 6 to 8 gigs a year.
Okay.
But again, I'm very picky, and I like doing places where people are there to listen.
Yes.
And
More of a coffee house type atmosphere.
coffee house, libraries,
Mhm.
senior centers, things like that.
Yeah.
Did a show last year at the West Brookfield Town Hall, which is a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
place to perform. I recorded a live CD at the Workshop 13 Arts Center in Ware,
Okay.
which is a really nice venue as well. So,
Now, when you record that live, that was straight through.
yeah, straight from the board.
Were you nervous about doing that straight through?
No.
No cuts, no,
No.
edits. It's all live.
There's a couple songs that I messed up to the point where I just didn't include it. But I mean, it's a single CD, and it's up about 80 minutes worth of music,
Okay.
which is the top limit
Mhm.
on a CD. And it's too difficult to put out a double CD unless you got a big record company behind you.
Yeah.
So I needed to pare it down anyway. But
Yeah. Okay.
to me, mistakes are just a part of the music.
Yeah.
I-
It's very possible that you're the only one that knows you made the mistake.
Well, that's it. That's it. A lot of times people don't.
Mm-hmm.
And, I love the old field recordings. You listen to the Carter Family,
Mm-hmm.
listen to the Memphis Jug Band, and
Early
they
Woody
generally
Guthrie stuff.
did
Yeah.
2 takes.
Mm-hmm.
And the best of the 2 takes is what they used on the
Yeah.
record. No overdubs,
Mhm.
but there was a energy to it that when I listened to, and this new CD particularly is highly produced in places,
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. But you lose something too in doing that.
I agree with that. Absolutely. There's no auto-tune back then. Everything was
Oh yeah,
just the way
Yeah.
it was supposed
yeah.
to be.
And auto-tune is the one thing I refuse
Mm-hmm.
to use.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. That's good.
Yes.
Do you mind playing us another?
Okay. Let me do a song for you that I just finished writing this morning. Actually,
Is it still wet behind the ears?
it is still wet behind the ears. This is interesting to me because what happened is I had the music. This is, I think, the first song I've ever written, and I actually have recorded all the instrumentals and did not have any lyrics for it.
Okay.
So I finally got the lyrics done, and we will give this a try. I climbed the highest mountain, looking for the fountain that only could drink from the stream. Wanted to go stronger, couldn't hold out longer. I was just dreaming the dream. I crossed the widest ocean, looking for the notion that life could be all that it seems. Reached out to the others, sisters and my brothers. Together we were building the dream. Together we can find the traces of the mysteries of ages. We can build a new world from the ashes of the old. If we work together, we can break the tether. Change is as strong as it seems. We won't need to borrow the promise of tomorrow. Together we are living the dream. Together we are living the dream.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So what happened to the $15 guitar?
What happened to the $15 guitar? The $15 guitar did not come with a case, and I was putting it in the trunk one time.
Oh no!
And smashed the top of it.
Yeah.
My mother swears it was just an excuse to be able to get a better guitar. But by the way, I
Is she wrong?
No, it wasn't deliberate.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't deliberate.
But it was a fortunate accident.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to just say something about this guitar.
Oh, that was my next question. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have wanted, like kind of that 60s hippie guitar thing, and I found a young lady in Leverett who had advertised on Craigslist that she does videos and sets and painted guitars. And she had an electric guitar she was painting for somebody that I said, that's the person I want to do it. And I told her it needed to have the peace symbol, it needed to have the word dream. And I let her loose with it, and she just captured that 60s vibe.
She did.
So
it looks
well.
like, I'm trying to think of the guy's work that was so prevalent back then.
Peter Max.
Peter Max, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
It has that look to it.
And, for somebody who's probably in her 20s, I thought it was really amazing that she was able to capture that 60s. Her name is Hannah Brookman, and I really encourage people to look her up online and check out her artwork.
Yeah. You're right. She captured the time.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I'm worried about the $15 guitar that you brutally destroyed years ago. But I know how that works. You got a $15 guitar. You got your eye on a $200 guitar that really has great sound. What did you get the next time around? Do you remember?
Next time around, I got a Decca guitar, and I got the Decca because Herman's Hermits were on Decca Records.
Why not then?
Why not, right? It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Hey, the path of fame is a windy path.
Oh,
you don't know where it's going to go. Yeah.
What I really wanted was a Gibson J45. And they were outrageous back then. They were like about $500-$600.
Yes, yeah.
So
would you have been able to tell the difference from one or the other, though?
Tone-wise
or so on?
Back then, probably I couldn't.
Yeah.
In fact, I really just recently got my ear to the place where I could hear the difference, and finally broke down and bought a better guitar.
Yeah. I was at a guitar store in Philadelphia a couple years back with a friend of mine, and they had guitars in the high four figures there.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, you know what, let me just see what that sounds like. I couldn't tell the difference in that $6,000 guitar versus the $300 guitar.
Yeah.
To me, I guess maybe my ear's not that tuned,
right.
But I thought, I'm not paying $6,000 if it sounds just like the $300 guitar.
Yeah, I think
exotic
that
woods, all kinds of neat stuff. It's a good looking guitar.
Oh, yeah. I think that there can be a difference, but I think it does. It depends on the person's ear. And if you are very content with the sound of a $300, $400 guitar, and you can get a lot of nice guitars in that price range now. For the longest time, I was playing Luna guitars, little company associated with Dean Guitars.
Okay. They're out of Arkansas, I think, aren't they?
Florida.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'm thinking somebody else. Okay.
Yeah. They had a very new agey approach to things. The woman who founded the company retired a couple of years ago, and the company has just kind of become just another guitar company. But their guitars were generally in the $300 to $600 price range, and generally very good guitars. With the new computer-generated cutting technique, CNC, and all this, you're getting some beautiful guitars for a low price.
Yeah.
Because they're not handmade as much now. But yeah.
You play another one for us?
Okay, let's see. let's try.
And while you're sorting that out, how can we get a hold of you to get your CDs? Do you have a website?
Yes, my website is www.garyblanchard.info, and there you can hear my music. You can purchase it as downloads. You can, if you're old school like me, you can get CDs.
Old school is vinyl.
Yeah, yeah. Which is nice, but it's also very expensive to get made.
Yes, yeah, it is.
So I was thinking about how helps when you hit it the right place.
Try that and see how it works, yeah.
I was thinking about how when you're young, life is so simple and, you just see so much beauty everywhere. And then we get caught up in living. So this song is called Flowers. When I was young, I played among the flowers. I watched the world with wonder in my eyes. Every day I took a different journey. Every day came with a new surprise. As time went by, I slowly lost the wonder. Every day felt more or less the same. The color of the world had slowly faded. The quest for joy felt like a childhood game. I want to find the joy that once had filled me. I want to feel the wonder I once knew. Magic of a life that's overflowing, with so many joys one can pursue. I want to once more play among the flowers, watch the world with wonder in my eyes. Every day I'll take a different journey. Every day will bring a new surprise.
Wow.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Howard,
Yep.
ask him about house concerts.
Oh, yeah. Do you do house concerts?
I love doing house concerts.
Okay.
And what I do, if a person wants to arrange a house concert, I don't charge anything up front.
Mm-hmm.
And people, they can have a little basket. People can put money in the basket. If people want to buy CDs, they can buy CDs. And I kind of take my money from there. But what I love about house concerts is that you get such a good audience. And the intimate feeling of it.
Yes.
It's very much like just sitting here, and very laid back, very loose. And they're a lot of fun, I think, for the performer and for the audience. Yeah. My wife and I went to a house concert, a duet called Magical Strings, that did kind of Celtic type music on hammered dulcimers and all kinds of instruments. And it was just wonderful, to have that intimate feeling.
Your music evokes an earlier time.
It does.
It's nice.
Yeah, it does. There is a simplicity to, like the one person, one guitar type thing that, I think is very intimate, very real. So, as I say, I'm to a point in my music where I've stretched the palette a lot.
Okay.
But what amazes me, there's one song called Carousel on the new CD that starts out with tablas, sitar-type sounds done on a keyboard. I do not play sitar, unfortunately. And it goes on to have this very Eastern flavor. But it sounds different, but I can play it live. And it's kind of the same song, but kind of different.
Kind of different.
And still, I think, just a really neat little song.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm absolutely fascinated by you. You're a great guest today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for playing for us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I think we're going to want you back.
I would love to come back. It's
been a
not
lot of
far
fun.
from home, and this
Yeah.
is a wonderful
It's a lot of fun.
situation.
Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, thank you.
And for coming.